Hello my friends, it is a gorgeous sunny winter day. I mean, look at this blue sky. This is Australian winter for you guys. It's unbelievable. I am in a really good mood today and I haven't been to my local thrift shop in weeks, so that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna hit up the salvos first, so let's go. Hi Brenda. What are you doing?
I'm making bed socks.
Bed socks.
Yes, keep your feet nice and toasty.
Oh, exactly what I need. You got some vintage treasures for me? I took this little handmade embroidery anglaise skirt, you guys. That was $2, so if you ever come to the salvos in Tukli, make sure you visit Brenda. She's outside the salvos Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. Aren't you, Brenda?
Yep, sometimes it's Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, but come along and get a bargain and the money we raise here goes into our food program to help the needy people.
There we go, yes. I'm sorry you guys, I have to go home. I'm not feeling well. I can be feeling well and then all of a sudden I can't. I hope to pick up this video in a couple of days. Hello my friends, I'm not really sure where to begin because I never thought I'd be making this video to begin with. So many of you have reached out to me with very heartfelt words and messages get well wishes. So many of you, and I am so grateful and so thankful. Just so many of you have been keeping me in your prayers, and you guys don't even know what I am battling. So I'm here to tell my story. I think I'm at a point with it now that I'm able to speak about it without crying or just really not even being physically well enough to talk to a camera. As many of you know, I have been in a very dark season of my life since the 1st of February. It's not life-threatening or anything like that, but I do have a battle on my hands and I feel like I am fighting for my life every day. So it all began on February the 1st when I went to Gosford Hospital to have a Botox procedure for migraines. So I have been suffering from migraines since I was a teenager. I am on medication for my migraines. Usually if I take it before the migraine has really taken a hold, I'm okay. It'll stop the migraine and I'm okay. But if I'm not able to catch it, or if it's a really extreme migraine, then I'm stuck with it for 3 days and I basically cannot function for 3 days. I'm vomiting. It's just absolutely horrendous. You just cannot function. Anyone that is a migraine sufferer will understand exactly what I'm talking about. My doctor recommended this Botox treatment for migraines. I was a perfect candidate for it, he thought, because I suffer from chronic migraines, which means that I get multiple migraines in a week. On this day, February the 1st, I went to Gosford Hospital to have this treatment. And I remember the day very vividly. I didn't even really think much about it. A professor of neurology sat down with me and explained the treatment. He didn't mention any side effects. He made it seem like it was a very routine procedure that he administered on many patients. He said to me, "Do you want to have a think about it, or I can go ahead and do the procedure now?" And I said, "Okay, we'll do it now. I'm here. You've basically told me everything about it. I don't really need to think about it. I suffer from migraines. If this is gonna, give me a better quality of life, then I'm all for it." And I remember sitting in the chair before he started the procedure thinking, wow, the government's paying for this. Ordinarily, it's about, over $1,000. The government was paying for it because I am a chronic migraine sufferer. And I remember leaving the hospital thinking, wow, this is going to take effect in a few days and I may be migraine free, and this is a procedure that I can have every 3 months free of charge. Wouldn't that be amazing? And I went and I filmed a video straight after it. I was in Gosford, a different area. I filmed a Thrift With Me video and I was so happy. I was in such a good mood. So the following day I was at work. I work for Sportscraft in David Jones, and my job is really physical. Like, I'm visual merchandising, I'm unpacking stock, I'm moving things around, I'm carrying a lot of clothing at once. It's just a physical job. I remember I was doing a stock refill and I was coming out of the reserve with some stock in my hands, and all of a sudden I felt this extreme pressure on my left shoulder. It was so bad that it kind of brought me to my knees. I had to kneel on the floor and just clutch at my shoulder. My neck became extremely stiff and it felt like someone was actually stepping on my neck. I couldn't lift my head up. It was like this extreme pressure on my neck, and it was just so hard to keep my head upright. And I just thought, what is going on? I haven't been lifting anything really heavy, nothing out of the ordinary that would bring on such extreme pain. So I just sort of stopped and tried to cope with the pain as best as I could, try to kind of breathe through it. I managed to just stand up and be upright, but this pain, this stiffness in my neck, and especially on the left-hand side, was just unbelievable. I went home. It was right close to home time when this happened, so I went home. I was just trying to cope with the pain. I rang the neurologist the following day and told him about this pain, and he said that, this was unusual, and did I have a massage or anything like that? I said, no, I haven't done anything that you told me I shouldn't do. This pain is extreme. I don't know what to do. He told me, you know, a few things to do, like lie down, use a heat pack, you know, just take it easy and it should go away. Well, the pain never went away. This pain has been migrating from my neck to the left side and then to the right side. It is crippling pain, I tell you. I've given birth naturally and I know what pain is, especially when it's in your neck and shoulder area. It just feels like something's very wrong. I can't even explain to you what this pain feels like. Anytime I moved my arms, the pain would be just unbearable. I couldn't bear it. The only way I could bear it was by being still in a lying on my side position. Anytime I tried to do anything physical with my arms, it was unbearable. So I had a few days off and then went back to see the neurologist, who told me that I may have had a bad reaction to the Botox. It's not something he's familiar with because he hasn't had any patients experience any side effects with this treatment, except for one woman who had some neck pain, but that kind of sorted itself out. He told me that maybe my muscles had spasmed and that was creating all this pain because everything was locked up, and that's what was causing the pain. And he sent me home with some Valium. He said it would help me sleep, that hopefully the muscles would relax and I would be better. It was a very miserable time because I don't know how, but I got up every morning, got dressed and went to work with this unbearable pain. I mean, it was unbearable, and I was still working. At every hour I would go into the reserve and cry. I was crying every hour. I was in pain and miserable, and no kind of over-the-counter medication did anything to alleviate this pain. I was doing neck exercises and shoulder exercises to stretch out my body. Nothing was giving me relief. So he wanted to see me again, and that's when he diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. And he prescribed me DEPOP, which is, in medical terms, I forget how to say it. I will put it up on the screen. And he said it's an antidepressant and it would make me sleep and it would help with the pain. So I left there feeling very confused, very upset, very miserable, in a lot of pain. Fibromyalgia, I thought, what is that? You know, I had migraines and I went to have a treatment that would sort out my migraines, and now I have something else called fibromyalgia, which there is no cure for. How did this happen? I was on that medication for about 4 days and the pain had not lessened. The pain was still the same unbearable pain every day. It would move from the left to the right. It would move more intensely to my neck or more intensely in between my shoulder blades, but it was there. And I was miserable and I was crying, and I didn't go anywhere or do anything other than go to work and film a video once a week. And so after 4 days of taking this medication, I decided that I was going to stop because I wasn't depressed and I shouldn't be on antidepressants. And I went to go see a chiropractor. But mind you, before even going to see the chiropractor, I had already had remedial massage, which the neurologist recommended to get the knots out of my muscles, physiotherapy, which he also recommended, acupuncture, which I went to of my own accord because it had helped me with a lower back issue that I have and still have to this day, L4, L5 protruding discs, and acupuncture helped with that. So I had tried all these therapies, none were helpful. So chiro was kind of like my last resort, which the neurologist was very against. So I went to a chiro and I saw him for about 11 treatments. And after, I think, the 3rd or 4th treatment, I may have felt a little bit of relief. the pain was kind of more bearable. After the 4th treatment, I felt that he was just aggravating it and making it worse. And he wanted to see me, 3 times a week. And he had this long-term plan for me. I was going to be seeing him for years, but he promised me that he would get me good. But I just felt that it wasn't working for me after about the 4th treatment. But I still went for 11 treatments and paid up all this money up front. But you don't think about money when you are experiencing chronic pain every minute of every day. Anyway, during all this time, I had also had multiple visits to my GP where I was put on steroids to calm down the inflammation. I was also put on prescribed anti-inflammatory medication because over-the-counter ones were nowhere near as strong as what I was suffering. My white cell count was low and my red cell count was high. That was another issue that we had to look at. I tried heat therapy, cold therapy, heat and cold therapy, light therapy. I tried everything, you guys. This is 4 or 5 months down the track and it's just affected my life so much. I cannot be the parent that I want to be for my son. I am miserable every day. I am pretending to be well when I am very obviously not well. I haven't been anywhere in 5 months other than to go to work or wherever I was filming a video. There has been just nothing. It's just me lying in bed when I'm not working. It affected my mental state. By nature, I am a very positive, spiritual person, but this really brought me to my knees and had me questioning everything. I had this immense fear that this was permanent and I would have to live with this pain forever, and I thought that life with this pain wasn't worth it. I just didn't care about life anymore if this was going to be it. I just didn't want to get up in the mornings. It was just such a very dark period in my life. And I have experienced loss before, very, very deep loss and deep sorrow. But this was kind of different because when you experience sorrow or loss, if you have a healthy body and a healthy mind, you can overcome it by being connected to your spirit and seeing the hope in every day. But when you are in chronic pain every minute of every day, it's just something else. It really is. I don't know how to explain it other than to say you just don't care about anything. You really don't. You just don't care about anything when you are in that pain. I had also experienced 2 panic attacks during this time. One was very severe because I was trying to look online and see if anyone else had suffered from this, if there were any documented cases online, any kind of testimonials, and I did find one, and it was very bleak. What I read was very bleak, which sent me into a full-blown panic attack. I remember running around the backyard, screaming, crying. I was incoherent. My parents came out in shock. My son was standing there in shock. They were all looking at me. They didn't know what to do. My son almost called an ambulance. For some reason, they didn't call the ambulance. I don't know why, but I guess they thought they could help me through it. They all got on the floor with me. They just helped me to breathe through it. My dad was speaking to me very firmly, telling me to snap out of it. This is not permanent. This is temporary. There was nothing wrong with you before the Botox treatment. The Botox had to get out of my system. It could take up to 6 months and then I would be okay. Stop reading online. You can't diagnose yourself. My mom was there telling me I had been through worse. I was gonna get through it. They were all gonna be there for me. Look at your son. Look at how much you have to live for. And somehow I breathed back to life. I calmed myself down. I took a Valium and I went to sleep. After this panic attack, something kind of changed inside my mind. And I thought, I'm going to beat this. you know, my faith gets me through everything. I am very spiritual. I have a very strong connection to God. It's not about religion, it's about spirit and spirituality. I just found a way back to me, my spirit. That girl who from a very young age was able to get through anything. From then on, I swore to myself that I would not research anything online anymore. And I didn't. But God sent me people, the right people, into my life, perfect strangers, to give me crucial bits of information. On this particular day, I was in my local op shop filming a video. Just like many other times, 10 minutes into the video, I shut off the camera. I couldn't do it. I was in that much pain, I couldn't. And I looked up as I was walking out the op shop, so miserable, so sad, and I saw a friend of mine who I had bumped into twice previously. The first time she saw me looking through the op shop, and she saw that I was in pain, and she asked if I was okay. I told her a little bit about what I was experiencing, and she just said, you know, if you keep your arms close to your body and you try to work kind of like that, you'll feel a lot better, because if you have issues in your neck, you can't move your arms because it's kind of like a trigger. And then the second time I bumped into her was in the op shop again, and she was the one who told me about this chiropractor who I went and saw. So on this day I looked up and I see this person again, the third time. I mean, what are the chances of seeing a perfect stranger? She only came to Tukli once a week, and she happened to come at the exact same time that I was there. And it wasn't the same time every week, it was all over the place. So I see her for a third time. She asked how I was going with the chiro, and then it was like diarrhea of the mouth. And I told her basically my whole situation. I was in tears, and she said, do you have a little bit of time? We can go sit by the beach. I have some information that I think that can really help you. I couldn't believe that this perfect stranger was willing to give up her day. She had just arrived in the op shop just as I was leaving to help a perfect stranger. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. She was amazing. She is amazing, and we are in touch, and she has been an angel in this, along with so many other people. So we decided to meet at the beach. And I have to say that God really does send you the right people at the right time. You just got to be paying attention, and you have to have an open heart to receive the information that can turn things around for you or that can help you. It was incredible. But I must say that not only my immediate family, my mum and dad and my son who I live with, my brother in Queensland and his family, his partner and his daughters, my cousin, my godparents, my aunties and uncles, some even from overseas were ringing to check on me weekly. Sometimes multiple times a week. Everyone just so concerned about me and praying for me and just asking after me and wanting so much for me to be well. So we were on the beach having a deep and meaningful conversation, and I expressed to her how I felt that I did not have fibromyalgia, that it was a misdiagnosis, and that I believed I had some kind of nerve damage, and that was what was causing this unbearable pain. I mean, I even ended up in hospital, put on morphine, and the morphine didn't even help the pain. She also happened to agree with me because she had experienced similar pain, and she also told me about the benefits of vitamin C, vitamin B. Vitamin C is good for healing, and vitamin B is good for nerve and nerve pain and nerve renewal. She also told me to go and buy some cold gel packs and to apply them in between my shoulder blades and around my neck, and not use heat, which is what I had been doing. And even though it's not really comfortable in the middle of winter to be putting ice on you, that could actually help in just settling down the nerve pain. Anyway, she sent me on my way, and that night she sent me a text message saying that she had researched my issue. There had been other cases like mine. It happens to about 1% of people who get this procedure done. It's inflammation of the nerves, and that it wasn't permanent, and that it could take up to 8 to 12 months before it's gone. Although my heart sank at reading the 8 to 12 months, I just felt this immense relief that it wasn't permanent, because that was my greatest fear, that I would be stuck with this debilitating, life-changing pain for the rest of my life. That was about a little over a week ago that we had that talk on the beach, and as I'm sitting here talking to you right now, I am in pain. I have pain mostly on the left side right now, in my neck and in my trap area. I must say the last 2 days I've had a little bit of a setback, so I've been in more pain than I was about 5 to 7 days ago. I was having a really good kind of stable period with the pain, which was so encouraging. I mean, I was at work, and my work, I must mention my beautiful work colleagues, my boss and the girl that I work with have been just so amazing. I can't do much with my arms, so I have to keep my arms close to my body, because if I start using my arms, the pain just intensifies to a point where it's unbearable. But if I don't use my arms and I keep my arms close to my chest and I kind of just do this movement as much as I can, then the pain is bearable. About 2 weeks prior to my meeting with my friend on the beach, I had gone to see my GP, who explained to me that NDEP, which is what the neurologist prescribed to me, was also treated in small doses for nerve pain. This was a lightning bolt moment, because the neurologist never explained to me this crucial piece of information. I thought I was on antidepressants, which is why I stopped after 4 days, because I'm not depressed. So when my GP told me that they were used to treat nerve pain, which was what I believed I had after telling my GP my symptoms and every treatment I've had, every medication I've been on, and any other alternative therapies I've done, my GP agreed with me that it was nerve. It was nerve inflammation that I had. I started taking the medication, and this medication really starts to work at its most effectiveness 6 to 8 weeks in. But it did start to take the edge off. I am taking vitamin C, I am taking vitamin B, I am using the cold gel packs, I am trying to rest as much as possible and reduce my physical activity while still trying to have some kind of movement so that my muscles don't atrophy. It is so frustrating not being able to use my arms the way I have done my whole life. It is very debilitating. It is very, very frustrating, because I can't do much. I had so much planned for this stage in my life. I had planned to move out of home. I had planned so much exciting content for my channel, which was gaining momentum and starting to pay off after 3 years of creating free content. I just want to live my life, and I can't do that because I am very limited in what physical activity I can do in order to keep the pain bearable. So that's where I am with it at the moment. I'm sorry if my explanation has been a bit all over the place, but you kind of, forget things in the sequence that they happened, and then as you're telling the story, you remember things that happened beforehand. Anyway, that's the gist of it. I am very hopeful that when I hit the 6th month since I had the procedure, that all the toxins of the Botox will be out of my body and I will be able to heal much quicker, and also that the NDEP will be working at its optimum rate, that I can somehow get back to my life as I once knew it, because it's been such a long fight. I really do feel like I'm fighting every day. I am also very thankful and very grateful, because I know that this is going to be temporary, and some people are given a different prognosis. I know how much worse things can be, but in having said that, suffering is suffering, and when you are in chronic pain every minute of every day, it's just debilitating. I will never take my health for granted ever again, and so my message to you guys is to remember that your health is your wealth, that you don't know how strong and capable you are until you come to a crisis in your life, and you can either give up or you can fight. You can fight for your life. If anyone out there is suffering from chronic migraines and has thought about having this Botox for migraines procedure, please know that this is a side effect that can happen. It happened to me. It's a 1% chance, but it happened to me. It could happen to you. There are cases online. It's just not something that the neurologist may talk to you about. And I just wish I knew about it, because I probably would not have had the procedure. I guess that's really all I have to say. Even though we've never met, I really do consider you guys my friends, and I'm so grateful to have this community, and I hope this video helps someone. I look forward to creating some new and exciting content for you when I'm well, because my life really was about to take a different trajectory, but God had other plans for me, and I know that everything happens for a reason. Please be patient with me. I really hope you will watch the videos that I put out, even though they won't be content that may not be what you're used to and may not be what you're looking forward to from me, but I am going to do my best to still continue to upload once a week. So I guess that's really all I wanted to say. Thank you guys once again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope I see you in my next one.